Hey everybody, welcome back to PSG. We're going to go over the Nintendo Direct more in depth than the short we gave you a couple days ago. I'm Houston, this is Dylan.
Hello, it's me, the guy who talks about things.
Alright, let's get to it. So, the number one reason for this Direct, as they were saying, was the new Smash character.
Yeah, they in like the tweet and the lead up to this, it said they were focusing on Smash, which I find strange, like, after the fact, because Smash really only was, like 5 minutes of the 50-minute Direct. So I feel like they just kind of wanted to get the Smash crew, like, to watch the Direct.
I think so. You're not wrong. They also said they were focusing on the first half of 2021, and that was completely wrong.
Yeah, because there's stuff, like, especially once we get down, there's a lot of stuff that's for, like, 2022, like, in the future.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Which, like, I'm cool with that.
Me too, but I was expecting a bit more, hey, these are coming out within the next couple months.
Yeah, I mean, that's something I will say about, like, these Nintendo Directs that, I mean, it's been, like, nearly 2 years since we've had one that's like this.
Yes.
And
this one was a bit disappointing.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, you kind of can't count 2020. I've given most people a pass for that. Yeah. I like that Nintendo usually does strike the balance of surprises that come out soon, like future stuff that we're not getting anytime soon, and updates on things that we already knew about. And I think this Direct struck a good balance with that, even though there weren't a whole lot of, like, massive surprises.
Yeah.
The new Smash character is a Pyra/Mythra, which...
Yep.
Again, not a huge surprise.
No, it's not. I mean, Xenoblade was one of the Switch's bigger known titles, so...
Right.
I'm not too surprised. I haven't actually played it yet. I actually, after the Direct, started to play Xenoblade Chronicles 2, just to figure out more about who she is.
Nice. Yeah, I remember Rex and Pyra were named by Sakurai, I'm pretty sure, as like a, I wish we could have included them, because there's a Rex Mii fighter costume, and I think when that was announced, Sakurai was like, Rex and Pyra were supposed to be in the game as fighters, but we couldn't get them in, so... It's interesting that now it's Pyra and Mythra as opposed to Rex and Pyra. I don't know anything about Xenoblade.
It is.
But
I don't know much yet, but from what I've understood, they kind of like switch between the two, kind of like we saw in the trailer for the character itself, who looks like it's going to play like the original Zelda and Sheik used to, where you can literally switch on the fly.
Right. Which I think that's cool. That's something that, obviously with Sheik and Zelda, they separated them, but we still have transformation characters with, like, Pokemon Trainer and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that, especially, I made a whole video about this, but one of my disappointments when Byleth was announced was that I thought they were going to be a transformation character where each weapon had a different moveset, sort of like Pokemon Trainer, but it wasn't that, which was a little bit of a letdown. So I'm always for, like, these transformation type things. I think they're really in-depth and cool.
Just from the looks of it, it is going to be another... each one of them will have their own moveset, too.
Yeah, I hope so. So it says... I think there's a March release date for that, which means we're probably going to get, like, the Sakurai, like, deep dive soon-ish.
I would imagine.
Usually they tell you on the Direct, like, in the previous Smash Directs, they'd be like, tune in, like, in 2 days or whatever to see that, like, deep dive on the characters. So I'm surprised we didn't get that, but...
Yeah, for them toting it as this is a Super Smash Brothers with some titles being announced, it was more titles being announced than anything.
Yeah. I think it might just be that, Smash is so big that they're like, if we tell them that it's going to be Smash,
everybody will watch.
Exactly. People will tune in. Well, cool.
All right. But yeah, she'll be out in March. I'm sure we'll get more before then, but... up next on the Direct, Fall Guys will be ported to the Switch this summer. Not that big of a surprise, I won't lie. I'm kind of surprised it's taken this long for Fall Guys to go out of PlayStation and Steam.
Oh, is it not on Xbox?
Last I checked, it was not.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yes.
Huh. That's strange.
It will also be coming out on the Xbox also around that time, it seems.
Okay. That's not terrible then.
Yeah.
That is weird. Did you play a lot of Fall Guys?
I did when it first came out.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. My only problem was after the first season, the second season was, we added some more obstacles to our already obstacle course with like 4 more different ones.
Right. Yeah, I didn't play a ton of it. A friend of mine got it for me for my birthday, which is back in August. I don't remember how soon it was after it came out, but it was fun. But yeah, it is one of those games where I already don't really like battle royales. I wish they would add a mode where you could, and I think this would be perfect for the Switch, where you can just connect with your friends and just play the mini games like Mario Party style, just with people you know.
Oh, that would be good.
And I think that like the Switch with the near field communication, obviously that's not ideal right now, but summer 2021, by that time, hey, maybe
hopefully
maybe enough people will be vaccinated and you can go use like local multiplayer with your Switch again. I think that would be cool. That was the thing when the Switch first came out. That was a big thing that they wanted to advertise, was like whatever happened to the I don't know if this was a demo or if they actually put this in any games, but there was like in some of their marketing material, you could like line up multiple Switches and it would create like one big game, like one big mini game.
Mario Party does that.
It does that? Okay, cool.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like that's an underdeveloped part of the Switch that I think would be fun. And I think Fall Guys is one of the few games that I feel like out of all of the ports that are on this list from this Nintendo Direct, Fall Guys makes sense. It is weird that it's taken this long. It'll be almost a year after it initially came out. But it's a perfect fit for the Switch, especially if you're on the go and you somehow have a Wi-Fi connection. Can you tether? I guess you could tether your Switch to your phone.
In theory, yeah, you could.
I don't know if that would be a reliable connection for Fall Guys, but that's cool. I'm cool with that.
All right, so up next is another port, Outer Wilds. A lot of people loved this when it first came out, and that's going to be coming out summer 2021. I don't have much to say about that one, but...
Yeah, I've heard a lot about Outer Wilds. I haven't played it. I've watched a couple videos about it. It looks fun. I just haven't gotten into it. It's one of those games that, like, people who are interested in game dev or are game devs, like, really, really like. Which generally means that it's a good game and it's doing something different. So it's exciting that the one thing I noticed when I was watching it was that it looks pretty bad on the Switch. And that's just because the Switch is not a powerful console, but
it's not.
Who knows? Switch Pro, maybe someday.
That is the big thing everybody was hoping for, and still nothing, but...
Yeah, I feel like the really big stuff, like Breath of the Wild 2, Metroid Prime 4, Switch Pro, like stuff like that just wasn't mentioned at all.
Nope.
It's been so long. I'm not one of those people on Twitter who like smells the word Nintendo and then screams that there's a Direct tomorrow. Like, I'll take one when I get one. I'm not a rabid Nintendo fanboy like a lot of people are.
All right. And then after that, Famicom Detective Club, The Missing Heir, and also The Girl Who Stands Behind were announced. To me, these it looks like these are originally Japanese-only releases that are finally being ported to the West.
So similar to, I got heavy Phoenix Wright vibes from this.
Oh, 100%. Just you're trying to solve something else besides a court case in this one, it seems.
Which is interesting. Is there similar blood in the developers, or is just like, similar genre? I don't know who makes this.
I'm not sure either. They actually aren't showing who made it either on this.
Weird. Well, who knows? It could be lateral thinking, or it could be... Because I had never heard of this before this Direct. And
I haven't either.
It just says Nintendo. Is Phoenix Wright first party? I don't know if they are. No, Phoenix Wright is Capcom, right? Yeah, Phoenix Wright is Capcom. So no. This is not...
No.
Maybe it's by similar people. It's one of those situations where it could be like Yooka-Laylee had a lot of the same devs from original Rare before it was cannibalized by Microsoft. So who knows? Not super important. Looks like Phoenix Wright.
Yeah.
Looks like fun.
It looks like Phoenix Wright, but they will be sold separately. Not probably. They will be out May 14th, and it looks like they're going to retail for about $35 a piece. So
that's a great price.
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, especially if both of them are a substantial amount of content. Yeah, $35. Yeah. You know, it's $70 for the pair, which is the new price for whole games. So
yeah.
If it's 2 whole games for $70, solid deal.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
All right. Up next was Samurai Warriors 5. That will be out this summer.
I didn't know there were 5 Samurai Warriors.
Yes, there are actually.
Very cool. Do you play these? I feel like you would play these.
I have, yes.
Okay.
I do like those style games. From my understanding, this is a new release with updated character designs and all of that as well from the Samurai Warriors franchise. But that will be out this summer. I do like those kind of games. I'll probably pick it up and give it a try, but...
Yeah, I haven't played any of the Warriors type games. The only one that I've been interested in is the 2 Hyrule Warriors games.
I mean, they play just like that.
Right.
For the most part.
I need to try them. I just keep forgetting to... Though I'm probably going to buy the Breath of the Wild one, we're getting, not to skip ahead, but we're getting DLC for.
We are, but we'll get to that shortly.
Yes, of course.
All right, after that, we got the Legends of Mana HD port. Originally a PlayStation 1 game that continued the Mana, however you would like to say it, saga. It's going to have the updated music with the option to go back to the original. This is a definite pickup for me. I've been playing all of the remakes of the Mana series, so...
Nice. Yeah, is this... Because I know did they just port the originals before? Because I know there was a big hoot and holler about Legend of Mana coming to the Switch a little while ago.
That was Trials of Mana.
Trials of Mana, okay.
Yes, that was just... So they had the Mana Collection, which has the originals in it. Mm-hmm. And then they made a new game. Not new game, but they remade it with new graphics, everything.
I see.
Trials of Mana for the... Trials of Mana for the Switch, as well as Secrets of Mana for PlayStation.
Gotcha.
So this is the next one in the line.
I see. So this one isn't a remake. It's more of it's sort of a remake. Is it a remake?
It looks like an HD. From what I could see, it looks like an HD upgrade.
Yeah.
Not necessarily a remake like the other ones.
Okay. So it's kind. It seems like it's a bit of an in between. I don't know if any of the assets are like. It looks like what they're doing is they're trying to like reimagine it, but not completely. Like turn it on its head where it like looks like a different game, which I think is interesting.
Yeah, and the biggest thing I think they're doing is updating the music, but they're leaving the original in there if that's what you want.
Yeah, they did a similar Game Freak did a similar thing for Heart Gold and Soul Silver where you could, after you beat the game, you would get a device that would let you switch between the new music and the old music, which I thought was a lot of fun.
Yeah. But that will be out June 24th. Up next, they showed some more Monster Hunter Rise footage, but the big thing with that is there's a new Switch and Pro Controller coming out on the March 26th release date as well, along with the game. I have already pre-ordered mine.
Is it like readily available for pre-orders? Like, is it not limited stock this time?
Currently, it doesn't look like it's limited stock,
okay.
But I just found it. I had to search Monster Hunter Switch, not anything else, but just that to find it on the GameStop website.
Gotcha. Well, that's good. If they are like actually keeping these stocked and they're going to honor pre-orders, that's good. Because Lord knows the past like 4 or 5 months of hardware releases have been a nightmare in terms of limited stock. I still cannot find a 3080 anywhere. That's a very different conversation. But
yes. But I'm super looking forward to Monster Hunter Rise. I'm a huge Monster Hunter fan. Always have been, always will be. So March 26th, a new Switch, Pro Controller, and the game all come out. Up next, Mario Golf Super Rush. I won't lie, I'm very excited for this.
Me too.
This was probably the highlight for me of this direct. I'm not gonna lie.
I think some stuff later on was a little better for me, but I love the Mario sports games. I think they're a lot of fun.
I do too. I always have. I always try them.
Yeah, they're just so much. They're just so stupid, and they're just goofy fun. I love one of my favorite things in games that I've always been obsessed with. Are like open worlds that you can just run around in and just control the character. Like usually in a game where you can't usually do that. So like the Sonic Adventure games where you have like the open world sections where you just run around. Those are always awesome for me. I loved that about it. Super Mario Galaxy had the hub world, and then they got rid of it in Galaxy 2, which sucks. But I mean, not Galaxy 2. The fact that Galaxy 2 is a great game, but the hub world being gone was a disappointment. And now you could apparently run around and like free roam in a certain mode.
You can all hit the ball. You don't have to wait for your friend anymore to be the first one to take a swing and then wait for the next one. You can all do it at the same time and just rush.
That's awesome.
And it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. There's basically a RPG thrown in there where you get to make your own Mii and do a whole story mode around them and then use them in the multiplayer mode as well.
I'm super glad that they're keeping Miis around, because the Switch kind of like shoved Miis into a corner, like just a menu option. So I'm all for Miis sticking around. I feel like Miis should have more of a presence.
And later on, we'll get more into it, but it looks like they are giving the Miis more of a presence on the Switch now.
I hope so. Bring back make the Mii channel like a thing and give it. The Switch's UI is so boring.
Bring back the Mii channel, give us the music.
Yeah, there's no music on the Switch UI. Like, come on.
There's not. All right, so that comes out June 25th.
Very excited about that.
Up next is Tales from the Borderlands will be released March 24th. So this was the Telltale Games, more story, choose your own adventure kind of thing, not traditional Borderlands where it's just, looter shooter. But that one's coming out March 24th.
Yeah, that's a port from a while ago. And
yes, that's been out for a while now. They've got the Capcom Arcade Pack coming out. Yeah, Capcom Arcade Stadium. And it looks like it's going to be one of the bigger cash grabs because it comes with a couple games, but these games you really know, that's DLC.
Oh, really?
You gotta go buy it.
Interesting.
Yes, they said that in the thing.
That's where they get you.
Yep. After that, Stubbs the Zombie is coming out as well as another port. After that, we got No More Heroes 3, which they kind of glossed over, which I was surprised because this has been in the works for a while now. But it looks like work simulator mixed with going to kick the butts of some aliens.
Yeah,
that's really what it looked like.
Have you played any of the No More Heroes games? Because I haven't.
I have not, so I'm not sure if that's how they all play.
I don't think
they're all on the Switch now, so I'm probably going to pick them up to get ready for the August 27th release of No More Heroes 3. So when it comes out, I can actually talk about it more, because it looked interesting to me.
From what I could glean from gameplay that I've seen of the previous games, it's this Yakuza style mini game. Build up that you have to do before fighting anything was not.
That's what it looked like in this one.
Yeah, so I
don't think it was in the first two, but we'll find out.
Interested?
Let us know.
Yeah, I was going to say, comment if you're a No More Heroes fan and you're annoyed or interested in this new gameplay loop.
All right, up next, it looks like a brand new IP called Neon White. It looks like a card-based first-person adventure game. I was kind of getting Super Hot vibes with it, where how it's just very quick paced, make a decision fast.
Yeah, I could see that. Well, Super Hot, you can take your time as long as you don't move.
That's true, because you can not move, so maybe not quite Super Hot, but kind of like one of those quickly make a quick decision. go here, here, here.
Doom, Apex has kind of that style of movement. I'd play this if I could use a keyboard and mouse.
It seems it's going to be interesting. I wonder if it's a puzzle game on top of this card fighting style because of the way it was going to make sure you use the right card at the right time. But that will be out this winter of 2021.
Yeah, it looks interesting. I'm always.
It does look interesting.
I'm always for a new IP.
I'm keeping an eye on this one
for sure.
Up next is DC Superhero Girls Teen Power. And
I did not see this one coming.
I mean, if you're a DC Superhero Girls fan, the game doesn't look bad. I won't lie.
No, it doesn't.
I probably won't be picking this one up, but it doesn't look like a bad game. I won't lie. That comes out on June 4th.
Either me or Benny will most likely end up reviewing it or looking at it for this channel. So that'll be interesting. I think, this has been a comic line for a while. I haven't read a single comic from it, but,
It's also a Saturday morning cartoon.
That's right. That's true. I forgot about that. I'm not a 10-year-old girl, so I'm not the target audience, but
I haven't watched it. I mean, as somebody who knows comics, it's weird seeing Barbara and Harley Quinn hugging.
Yeah, that is strange.
I don't know what's going on there, but
that's the direction, though. That happened in Heroes in Crisis. So maybe DC Superhero Girls Teen Power is on to something.
They could be, but again, that comes out June 4th. Up next is Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville, the Complete Edition, which I know is on Origin. It's literally... It's basically, they're like, you know what? Kids like Call of Duty, but their parents don't like them playing Call of Duty. Let's make them their own game.
Yeah, I never. And
it actually doesn't look bad.
Yeah, I never played this this has been out for a while.
I haven't either.
And it looked fun when it first, I think it was Xbox only when it first came out, which is why I never played it.
I know it's on Origin as well.
Yeah, I think it's released on other platforms since then, or at least the original version. I don't know if this is like a sequel to the original that I'm remembering, but this is the newest in the franchise. Okay. I can't remember if it's 2 or 3, but gotcha. Yeah, it looks like fun. I'm probably not gonna get it on the Switch because again, this is like one of those games that's like just doesn't like the Switch. It's too underpowered for a game like this.
It is. But at the same time, for the kids, I think I do think it's a good call on their part.
I mean, as long as it runs like well enough, being able to play it handheld like I don't ever really use my Switch in handheld mode, but I know there are so many people who do.
I'm one of those people. I basically exclusively use it in handheld mode.
Yeah, I'm like the opposite. I always have mine docked. So it's hard for me to like come at it from that angle where it's a lot of these games, especially like they might not look good on a 55-inch TV, but you stick it in like a tiny screen in your hands, it's probably gonna look better, right?
Yeah. All right, but that comes out this March. After that, we got Miitopia, which was originally on the 3DS. This looks like an enhanced version of it, though, with a lot more to do.
Yeah, which is cool. This is kind of
like we said, because the Miis are coming to Mario Golf. It seems like they're really trying to bring them back now for the Switch.
I think that would be cool.
Because they're adding new hairstyles, everything for this game.
I don't know if they're gonna capitalize on this, if this was just like I'm sure this was just a coincidence. But people have like the Mii games. I played a lot of Tomodachi Life on the 3DS when that was out.
I played Miitopia on the 3DS.
I never played it, but I think it was Miitopia was one of those games that was late in 3DS's life, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was kind of done with the 3DS probably when Miitopia came out, but I know there's a ton of people who still use their 3DSs and now Switches, so cool. I might play it.
It was a fun little thing, but
I remember really loving the 3DS
give it a go.
Game. I remember really loving the Mii games on the 3DS, like the original like Street Pass games. Those were a lot of fun, and this is similar to that. So
it is. But that comes out May 21st. Up next, the next Animal Crossing update was announced to come out February 25th. And for the anniversary of Mario, we're getting a bunch of sweet Mario items, including warp pipes for our islands. That was probably one of the cooler things I saw in there.
yeah,
Can literally put a warp pipe up on one end and one on the other and go to them.
what I'm interested in is if they will let you have multiple sets of warp pipes, and I know the answer is no because it's Animal Crossing, and they refuse to be complicated, unless you're the flower system, in which case you gotta like solve logarithmic tables or whatever. But I think it's cool. It's usually with like these cosmetic updates. You don't really get things that are functional, that have like new functions.
Yeah.
And I think that is something that Animal Crossing kind of lacks nowadays. It's like all the way back on the GameCube, you could find and buy the like arcade games,
The original NES games.
yeah, and you could
Yes.
play those for a little bit, and that was so cool. So I think more like function over form things would be neat. And I think warp pipes, people are gonna make some really cool islands with this stuff.
Oh, yeah. I
is
can't wait
always
to
cool.
see the pictures on the subreddit of the
absolutely.
islands with this stuff. All right, that again comes out February 25th. Up next, Project Triangle Strategy, which is a working title from Square, and it is a tactical RPG. If I had to guess, it is either a new Final Fantasy Tactics game, or they're just like, it's like a callback to Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yeah, I think it's. I don't know what the world is about because it's from the Octopath Traveler people.
Oh, so maybe it's gonna be
And it's
Octopath Traveler Tactics.
yeah. I don't remember if because I did like a first impressions of the demo that they released same day, which is good on Nintendo. I love when developers announce and release something the same day.
Yeah.
Very cool. And it's, tactics games, RPGs like this aren't my kind of game, but it looks
Oh, I love them.
very, very similar to Octopath Traveler. I'm sure it's in the same engine and everything, and they just have added stuff, and that's kind of what they focused on in the direct, was like, here are the things that we added.
Yeah.
But if you want to see some more opinions on that, the demo, I did like a 15-minute video on the demo. So it's fun. It's pretty. It's, I think for someone, you would probably like it.
This is a first day buy for me.
Yeah,
No doubt about it.
awesome. I'm interested. My main interest in this is where they go with the name, because if I remember correctly, the name of Octopath Traveler was Project Octopath Traveler, and they said that was a working title. So I don't know what this game is going to be called.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I would be. It would not surprise me if it was called like Octopath Traveler Tactics or something.
I mean, I'd be okay with it.
Or like Triangle Traveler. Who knows?
But that comes out in 2022, and there is a demo available now if you want to try it out.
Yeah, that's the first like far off into the future games.
Yep.
Working title and everything, which is cool.
Up next is Star Wars Hunters. It's going to be a third-person shooter, free-to-play game from Zanga Studios.
This is Fortnite.
I think-
Mark my words.
I think that was the biggest thing, is Zanga Studios is still around.
I have.
If you guys didn't realize, they used to make the Facebook games we all used to play.
I have stock in them, so I'm well aware that they're still around.
Well, you might be happy
be
when this
rich,
game comes
sir.
out then.
The interesting thing to me is that it's supposed to come out sometime this year, and they didn't show anything.
Nope.
This was probably the biggest like tease, where it was basically just a logo and a pre-rendered cutscene. And man, I don't know. I got Fortnite vibes from what they were saying, and
Oh yeah.
and just third-person competitive shooter with like this cutesy art style, which is interesting because you can play as Star Wars people in Fortnite. So I don't know what this is. but
I don't either, but
I'll give it a try.
If I was EA, I'd be like, I lost my game to Zanga Studios.
Who knows? I'm all for the at this point, I'm so like divorced from my like childhood love of Star Wars. I don't care what they do with it anymore. The Mandalorian is great. It's going to continue to be great. Do whatever. I'll laugh at it if it's bad.
I'll probably it's free to play. I'll try it.
Yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Especially if it's, I don't know did they mention if it's Switch exclusive? I doubt it will be.
I didn't hear them say that, but
yeah, if it's, free, I'll give it a shot no matter what platform it's on. I probably won't play it all the time if it's Switch exclusive.
Free's the best price.
That's true. Unless it's like a huge caveat like Battlefront 2 originally was. That's a bad price.
All right. Up next, we got Knockout City, which the trailer was kind of different. It looked like all of the villains and princesses from different games were tired of being in their games, so they came to play dodgeball.
Yeah, this trailer was really confusing.
It was.
They were like, it was cool, because like the parts that weren't gameplay, everyone was like different art styles, sort of like a Wreck-It Ralph deal.
Yeah.
Which was interesting, and then they cut to the gameplay, and they're all the same. And I was like, oh.
They're all the same, and it's like, oh.
You've disappointed me. You didn't have to do that. You could have made them all the same art style, and I would not have been let down when you switched to this gameplay.
No.
Which is strange. It's interesting gameplay, like with it's like a battle royale, third-person shooter, but also, like dodgeball and soccer.
You playing dodgeball.
It's interesting. So I'm down. I'm cool with like new ideas. Like Rocket League was a very strange idea.
It was, but I like it,
and it's great. So I'm for Knockout City. This seems like one of those games that this happens a lot nowadays, is where it's gonna start and not have like a big following. It'll have like a cult group, and then it's gonna get taken over by like some existing IP. Like they'll put like Mario on top of it or something, and then it'll
blow up.
Yeah. So similar to what Fortnite's been doing, but with like everything on the planet. So I think this has potential. I think
it does. It does come out May 21st.
Very soon-ish.
Up next is World's End Club. It is made by the Dangarampa Studios, so it's got a very similar vibe to that. And I love everything these guys put out. I'll probably give it a try.
Yeah, this is very outside of my playing field, but I don't mind it. It looks cute. I like cel shading.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah, there's not much more to say about that one right now, but that does come out this May as well. Up next, we are getting a Hades physical release for the Switch.
Yeah.
Hades is a fantastic game.
Yes.
I highly recommend anybody picking it up and play it. I played it on my Switch. I probably won't buy the physical release for myself, but to entice people who've already played the game, it is coming out with a soundtrack code and an art book.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Supergiant, the dev behind Hades, Bastion, Transistor, Pyre. Yeah. I feel like a fake fan recently because I haven't played Hades. I've played very little of Pyre, but Bastion and Transistor are some of my favorite games, and I've been meaning to get into this. I'm not gonna buy it for the Switch, but maybe this will.
March 19th, you could get the physical release of it.
I could.
That's all I'm saying.
If I wanted to.
You should.
And
you're gonna.
Okay. If you send it to me, I'll play it.
All right, so yeah, the Hades physical release with a soundtrack code and art book come out March 19th. Up next is the Ninja Gaiden Masters Collection, which is the original first three Ninja Gaiden 3D games, not the original NES one. That comes out June 10th. Probably definitely going to get this. I never had the systems to play Ninja Gaiden on when it came out.
Nice.
So I always wanted to. So
that'll be cool.
I will be trying it here.
And I don't know if they mentioned this, but I imagine they're like a little bit up-resed. They're probably not like much else care has been taken to them.
Yeah.
But, you know, you port an old game, you might as well make the textures a little nicer.
All right. Up next, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity is getting an expansion pass. The first part of it is the purchase bonus. Bonus, which is available May 28th and comes with a new weapon and costume for Link. Wave 2 is going to expand on the roster, new weapon types, new challenges in the Ancient Lab, and newly added challenging enemies that will be out this June. And then the last wave will be November 2021. It's going to add new character...
Vignettes.
I don't know this word, Dylan.
Vignettes.
It's going to add new character vignettes, a newly added stages, an expanded roster, and new battle skills for existing characters.
How much do you think, because they say expanded roster and new weapon types, how much you've played this, right?
Yes.
So like how is that like substantial, do you think? Because they're being vague about it. Do you think that
they are being very vague. I don't know if it's going to be one character, two characters. Yeah. It's kind of hard to tell.
I don't know what counts as like a lot for something like, because $20 for, you know, all of this, assuming that it is all of this and not just like, you know,
a good amount of stuff. Yeah.
Right. That seems like a good deal. But I don't know. It could not be. They're being very vague about this, and they kind of like moved on from it quickly.
They're being vague.
So I guess we will see.
I mean, in June I'll let you know because I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah.
I love all things Zelda.
Me too. I need to. I mentioned earlier. I need to check this game out. It is
a lot of fun. But the first wave comes out in June, with the bonus stuff coming out in May. And it will only be $20. So
yeah,
who knows?
Not a bad price, assuming that this is a substantial amount of content.
Yep. Up next, they showed a bit more of Bravely Default 2, which comes out next week. So
cool.
I'm excited for it. I loved the first ones. They also showed a new trailer, not part of the direct, but afterwards. And I love the game, but by God, sometimes it's hard for me to take it more seriously with the art style and how serious that last trailer was.
Yeah, I didn't know they got serious in this game. I played the demo of it when of the first one, and you know, it's again one of the like JRPGs are hard for me to get into. But I thought it was cute. It reminded me of the old not Chrono Trigger. What's it called? The old Golden Compass on the Nintendo DS. That specific one.
Yes.
Which I had a lot of fun with.
So it's more of like a traditional like Final Fantasy III style where you get to pick the classes and you can level each of the characters into a different class. It's a pickup for me. I will be playing it next week, so.
Nice.
Yep. Up next, we got the Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection trailer, which will be out February 25th, so also next week. It is a remake of the original Ghosts and Goblins. They've added local co-op, where there are 3 different playable characters for the second player, which will help you along your way. I don't know about this one for me. Ghosts and Goblins has never really been a game I played. I might give it a try now. I know it's one of the more challenging games. You have like a couple lives, and if you die, you go all the way back to the beginning. Yeah,
I've never really played any Ghost and Goblin stuff, but I like the art style of it. So did they mention a price for this one? I don't know.
I did not see one. No.
Yeah, I would not pay full price for this. But assuming it's like cheap, maybe I'll pick it up on sale or something, give it a shot. I like to sit down with a platformer, especially a challenging one, occasionally, because I'm bad at them, and I like a challenge. So, would be interesting.
Yeah. So that one comes out February 25th. Up next, we got the Saga Frontier Remastered for Switch that comes out April 15th. This is a pickup for me as well. I just finished playing the Saga Collection that just recently came out on Switch, and I love them. I know this game is different from those ones, but it's part of the same franchise, so I'm excited for this one as well.
Cool.
It's got a little bit updated graphics and whatnot to it as well. But that comes out April 15th.
Nice.
Up next, we got Apex Legends, which we knew was coming to the Switch, but finally it will be out March 9th. It's coming with double XP at launch, 33 levels in the Battle Pass, and it did not look too great running on the Switch, I won't lie.
No, this is another one of those games that just wasn't made for the Switch. You know, I think
it's not meant to be on the Switch, but
that's the thing about like Nintendo first party games always look great on their Nintendo like historically has always had underpowered consoles, but like they know that. So they develop their games for, that's why most Nintendo games like look like cartoony, because that's a lot easier to power. And they always look great on their consoles. But you know, it's tough when like Apex is for the most part a PC game that is being so severely like hacked up to run on the Switch. Again, this is something that like if it looks bad but it runs well, that's fine, especially if you're playing it in handheld mode. Like that's the main thing that I am frustrated about with like games like this, especially Apex, like a competitive game. If it does not run well, people will not play it.
There's really no point.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna give it a try just to see.
Yeah, well, might as well, because that's another free game. So
something for us to talk about later on. So
totally.
All right. Again, that comes out March 9th. Then they debated us.
They sure did.
And our buddy.
Why did they roll Aonuma out? Just to let him say sorry.
He's like, hey guys, he's wearing his shirt. It's like, here it is. Finally, we're getting some Breath of the Wild 2 news.
Nope.
Sorry, we have nothing to show right now. We promise we're still hard at work at it. But don't worry, we do have something for you.
They gave us something, which was nice.
And they did. A Skyward Sword HD port.
Yeah, this has been long rumored.
It has been. I'm not surprised this is coming out.
No.
I'm a little disappointed because it's also Zelda's 35th anniversary here soon. And so far, this is the only Zelda news we've gotten.
They've got to be ramping up to Breath of the Wild 2. I feel like...
I really hope so.
You know, when they finally announced, like, Breath of the Wild, it came out a few months later. Like, when they finally... Like, after the million delays that it had. But, so maybe they're going to do that. I don't know. I feel like it's... COVID must have hit, like, Nintendo
it had to have.
Hard. Because...
There's... Yeah.
Unless Breath of the Wild 2 is way more ambitious than we think it is, they already have most of the work done in terms of like, you know, it's a sequel, so it's the same story that Majora's Mask spun. Obviously, they're not under a crunch time like that, like they were back then. But you know, there's a lot of shared assets there. That's probably why Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity was able to come out so quickly. Just borrowed a bunch of assets, and they already had the base engine with the Warriors games before it. So, yeah, I am interested to see if they pull like a "this comes out tomorrow" thing. But anyway, Skyward Sword. That's the thing.
So they have remapped the motion controls to the Joy-Cons if you would like. However, if you're playing on the normal Switch and not the Lite, you can remove your Joy-Cons and use them just like the Wiimote and Nunchuck were for the Sword and Shield. Along with that, we are getting some very nice looking Joy-Cons, which I'll probably buy even though I shouldn't, because they're $70 and they're charging $60 for the Skyward Sword port, which I'm a little
that's rough. That's hard to swallow.
Confused about,
especially
because
like which one? Link's Awakening was $40. Which was a solid price.
Not only that, if you think the Skyward Sword, when it first came out on the Wii, had a collector's edition that had a special Zelda Wiimote in it for $70.
Oh,
you got the game and a Wiimote.
Yeah, I bought that. I didn't remember
now
how
for
much
an extra. Now for an extra $60, you can get a controller and Skyward Sword.
Oh no. Yeah, I feel like this is definitely, especially with the 35th anniversary, they definitely could have like been like, oh, also
they could have done something more with this.
Yeah, it's $30. Happy birthday. It's
yeah.
But nope, full price. Well, I guess full price is $70 now. So $10 off. Yeah. Thanks, Nintendo.
Here's a $60 Zelda game you've already played.
Yeah, that came out like 9 years ago or whatever.
And here's some sweet new Joy-Cons with no system to match it.
Are you gonna play this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a Zelda fan. They're gonna get my money.
I feel like I'm not gonna play it purely because it's $60 and I've already played Skyward Sword, and I honestly don't enjoy the gameplay of Skyward Sword that much. I want to try playing it without motion controls, because that was my main complaint about Skyward Sword.
I might wait on this one to see if it ever goes on sale, which is
it won't.
Highly unlikely because it's a main Nintendo game. So, but it's probably not a day one buy for me, in all honesty.
Yeah, I might try to find it on like Facebook Marketplace or something to try to find it secondhand. But yeah, like I still have Skyward Sword on the Wii.
Yeah,
so I just go play that. It doesn't look that much better. Like the Wii to the Switch. The Wii
doesn't look any better.
No, not really. Like it's
I'm not gonna lie.
Up-resed a little, but
yeah,
you know, it's fine. I could probably play it on an emulator right now with remapped controls, and it would look better than it would on the Switch.
Yeah. But so the Joy-Cons and Skyward Sword HD come out July 16th. And lastly, the big surprise, Splatoon 3.
Yeah. I didn't know what this was going into it.
I didn't know at first either. Is this going to be like a spin-off Splatoon game?
That's what it seemed like.
But then they showed the gameplay and it played just like Splatoon. So,
but I think I'm
interested to see the story mode.
Yeah, I think what they're doing is because Splatoon 2 had a story mode, and I think, and some of its DLC had more story to it. I'm pretty sure.
Yes. Yeah.
So I think that's what they're doing is they're just like they're continuing to iterate on Splatoon, and now they're adding maybe like a full campaign with like a hub world and stuff.
That's what it seems like.
Because they're like I don't know why you would make your character in like some weird post-apocalyptic wasteland and then just go into the city and then that's the game. That would be very strange.
Yeah. It would be very, very strange.
So I'm excited for this. I don't think I've ever played Splatoon, but I have been enamored with it like since it came out.
I go get Splatoon 2 and play it.
Yeah,
play the story.
I would love to. I might honestly because
get the DLC, do all of it.
This isn't coming out till 2022, so I've got plenty of time.
Yeah,
like I love.
You've got time.
I love Splatoon's world. I love its music. So
I then go play the adventure mode.
Yeah,
at the bare minimum.
Cool. I will most likely do that because this is a fun. I'm excited for this game, which is surprising. Well, not surprising to me because I like Splatoon, but like, yeah. I'm glad that this like Nintendo doesn't really come up with new IP that much, and when they do, usually it goes off into a corner and dies. I'm glad that Splatoon is still around because it is.
Splatoon has done great to stay around.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much it overall. The Direct wasn't amazing. We got some cool things, but more disappointment than not, I would believe, for this one.
Yeah, I think
my biggest disappointment again was the no real Zelda news.
Sure.
When the 35th anniversary is coming up.
Yeah, I get that. I think for me, like, I wasn't really expecting anything just because of how long it had been since we got one of these style directs.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really, going in expecting anything. I have forced myself to forget about things like Metroid Prime 4 because we're not seeing that game's not coming out until like 2024.
Yeah,
we're not seeing that for a while because that game has hit the reset button on itself. So I'm kind of along for the ride at this point. But yeah, I would have liked to see some Breath of the Wild 2 stuff, little tease.
Not even necessarily Breath of the Wild 2, but so far the only thing we're getting is Skyward Sword for the 35th anniversary.
And DLC for
Age of Calamity.
But, you know.
But that's a given.
They also didn't like specifically say that this is why.
No, they didn't.
Yeah,
we might get more Zelda news soon, hopefully.
I think it's possible.
Very, very soon.
Because with the Animal Crossing Mario stuff, they did specifically say this is for the 35th anniversary of Mario. Which is neat. So I think there might be a direct soon. Maybe we get a Zelda direct soon. That's just like 20 minutes of like, here's what's going on. Skyward Sword is coming out soon, because Skyward Sword comes out in July, so there's plenty of time for them to have another direct to reiterate that Skyward Sword is coming out, and then give us some more news about other stuff. Yeah.
That is going to do it for our discussion here about the Direct. Let us know your thoughts on the Direct down below. I'm Houston.
I'm Dylan.
And thanks for tuning into PSG for our Nintendo Direct coverage.
Bye.
Bye-bye.